Imagine a soldier so devoted to his mission that he continued to fight a war that had ended decades earlier. This is the incredible story of Hiroo Onoda, a Japanese soldier who, for nearly 30 years, remained hidden in the jungles of the Philippines, refusing to believe that World War II had ended. Onoda passed away in Tokyo at the age of 91, but his legacy lives on as a testament to unwavering loyalty and resilience. In 1944, Onoda was sent to Lubang Island in the western Philippines with orders to spy on US forces and conduct guerrilla warfare. As Allied forces defeated the Japanese Imperial Army, Onoda, a lieutenant, evaded capture. While most of the Japanese troops withdrew or surrendered, Onoda and a few fellow soldiers hid in the jungle, dismissing all messages that the war was over. For 29 years, Onoda survived on food gathered from the jungle or stolen from local farmers. His resolve never wavered, driven by the command to never surrender or take his own life. The turning point came in 1974, when Onoda was finally persuaded to come out of hiding. His former commanding officer traveled to Lubang to officially relieve him of his duties. In a poignant moment, Onoda, still wearing his battered army uniform, handed over his sword nearly 30 years after Japan had surrendered. Onoda explained, "Every Japanese soldier was prepared for death, but as an intelligence officer, I was ordered to conduct guerrilla warfare and not to die. I had to follow my orders as I was a soldier." Upon his return to Japan, Onoda received a hero's welcome, emerging as a figure from a bygone era into post-war modernity. However, his actions during those 29 years had left a mixed legacy. While many celebrated his return, anger remained in the Philippines, where he was blamed for multiple killings. The Philippine government pardoned him, but when he returned to Lubang in 1996, relatives of those he was accused of killing demanded compensation. After his return to Japan, Onoda found it difficult to adapt to the changes that had taken place. In 1975, he moved to Brazil and set up a cattle ranch. Onoda once said, "Japan's philosophy and ideas changed dramatically after World War II. That philosophy clashed with mine, so I went to live in Brazil." In 1984, he returned to Japan and established Onoda Shizenjuku, an organization to train young Japanese in survival and camping skills, drawing from his own experiences in the jungle. Onoda's adventures and philosophies were detailed in his book, No Surrender, My 30-Year War. In the book, he shared insights such as, men should never compete with women. If they do, the guys will always lose. That is because women have a lot more endurance. He also reflected on the importance of community, the unfairness of life, and the cautious approach of the Japanese government towards other nations. Hiroo Onoda was born in March 1922 in Wakayama, Western Japan, and was raised in a family with 6 siblings. He enlisted in the Imperial Japanese Army Infantry at the age of 18 and was singled out for special intelligence training, learning guerrilla warfare, philosophy, history, martial arts, propaganda, and covert operations. In 1944, he was sent to Lubang Island during the final months of World War II with clear orders to hamper enemy attacks and never to surrender. Despite the end of the war in 1945, Onoda believed it was a ruse and continued his mission. Leaflets dropped by Japan to inform hidden soldiers that the war was over were dismissed by Onoda as Allied propaganda. Together with 3 other soldiers, he continued fighting a guerrilla war, surviving on bananas, coconuts, and stolen rice. They killed 30 island inhabitants over the years and evaded police shootouts. In 1950, one of Onoda's fellow soldiers surrendered to Filipino forces, and another was shot dead by island police in 1954. His last comrade, Private First Class Kinshichi Kozuka, was killed in 1972, leaving Onoda alone for the final 2 years. Throughout his ordeal, Onoda displayed characteristics of asceticism, undeviating will, obedience, loyalty, and sacrifice, which ultimately proved critical to his survival. Declared dead in 1959, Onoda's fate remained a mystery until a Japanese student, Norio Suzuki, set out to find him in 1974. Suzuki managed to locate Onoda just 4 days after beginning his search. The pair became friends, but Onoda refused to surrender without official orders. Suzuki returned to Japan with photos and found Onoda's former commanding officer, Major Yoshimi Taniguchi, who returned to Lubang to officially relieve Onoda of his duties. When Onoda returned to Japan in 1974, still wearing his old imperial uniform, he was pardoned by then-President Marcos of the Philippines. His family, who had thought him dead, saw him for the first time since he was 22 years old. Struggling to adapt to a modern Japan, Onoda moved to Brazil for a more tranquil life, where he married a Japanese woman and lived between Japan and Brazil until his death in 2014. Reflecting on his 29 years in the jungle, Onoda said simply, "Nothing but accomplishing my duty." His story is a remarkable testament to the human spirit's resilience and the complexities of duty and belief, painting a vivid picture of a man caught between 2 two eras. Thank you for watching, and if you found this story as captivating as we did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating historical tales.